What's up, everybody? Welcome back. You already know it's your boy, Chris Walcher. This is Mutual Connections, hashtag connecting beyond the post. Today, I got a real fun one in store for you guys. I feel like I met this individual not too late, but she just strikes me as somebody who should have already been in my circle. We share a lot of the same hashtag mutual connections. And so, without further ado, everybody join me in welcoming my girl, Beatrice Gutknecht. What's up, dude?
Hey, hey, thanks so much for having me on, Chris. And yeah, LinkedIn be like that. It sort of turns out being like a teeny tiny community.
No,
We're just
dude,
like,
it
oh, do you
is,
know?
man. You got your big community, you got like your business, but honestly, I love LinkedIn for creating the relationships like these. Like, I'm not your ICP, you're not my ICP, but it's one of those real, recognized real. And so I just wanted to hop on the horn and rap with you for a bit. So I'm so stoked you wanted to come hang out, dude.
Yeah, me too. I would, you were like, oh, I want to go and stalk people, basically.
That's what
I
I
was
do.
like, yes, this is it.
Yeah.
I want to get on this.
Dude, but that's to be fair, that's one of the first talking points. So, like, look, I did the best that I could, but Beatrice, you're like pretty elusive on the internet with respect to anything that has nothing to do with business. And like, I like this show because every other podcast is just going to pepper you with like, oh, how did you create your marketing? What do you do from a brand influence? And trust me, I want to get into it, but the real fun of this is the connecting beyond the post part. And I got to tell you, across your website, multiple Instagrams, your Facebook, the LinkedIn timeline, like you're pretty disciplined at just keeping it very business centric. And which is cool for you because your business is fun. And I know that it encapsulates a lot of like who you are as a human. But I wasn't able to be like Beatrice in 1994. Remember that one time you were on the sailboat and the thing fell over and you're like, whoa, how did you know that? Because you don't have any of that type of content online.
One time in band camp.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude, I saw no Bandcamp stories on you, B. What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I did. I was like, okay, I am so down for this challenge. If you can like dig up something about my past.
I wasn't, I'll tell you, I have some things. I got questions. I wasn't able to find much. I will tell you.
Okay,
Did you like
maybe it's like
scrub all of your socials or like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, even your Facebook, it was very little there for me to go off of.
yeah. I see the one place where I didn't scrub things was Facebook, but I set that as like literally nobody can view because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I am not going through all that like absolutely embarrassing, just random shit that you say at
Yeah.
midnight, being like, I'm bored or like I'm
No,
hungry.
that's what I'm saying, and, like, a part of my, elusiveness in trying to stalk people is I don't, like, send the connection request, particularly on Facebook, like, you even have a personal Instagram account, and I was like, "Gosh, there's a couple hundred photos, I could ask to connect, but then that's gonna reveal my sources, and then she's gonna know." So, you kinda put me in a corner with how much I was able to really drum off of in this interview, but come on, I got some little shockers, so we'll get
I
into
feel
it.
like that in itself, I mean, for people in businesses and when you're doing your own thing, that's something that not a lot of people think about. Like, okay, what are the repercussions
Yeah.
of, say, for example, not going through and set like changing privacy settings for
No,
that,
for sure.
like
Girl,
for
I
the
have
thing when
stuff
you're
on my
18.
Facebook your boy is not proud of. I don't even like who t my I'm just ignorant enough that I don't think anybody's gonna go to the depth that I go in trying to stalk somebody so that we can have a fun conversation. But yeah,
I
dudes,
have.
don't go to my Facebook, bro. If you scroll down on the photo Rolodex, like, bless your heart.
uh, yeah, there is a good reason that mine is just not set as public because
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
did you see that one time when you were, I don't know, really bored or when you were like traveling in Cuba or doing all these things I'm like, yeah, I'm a different person now.
No, for sure. For sure. So you gave me little to work with, but I got some stuff to work with. First question
Yo, I'm excited.
is gosh, did I talk to, I feel like I talked to you, or maybe I was just listening to some of your videos and I could tell there was a hint of an accent. It wasn't until I started like really doing the research. Obviously, you are born and raised in Australia. Is that accurate? And what part of Australia?
I was just all over the East Coast. So I was born in Melbourne. Even the way that I
Okay.
say it's very Aussie, but ended up doing my primary school in Gold Coast, high school, like a few hours away from Sydney, then uni in Canberra. So it's like when people are like, oh, so which part of Australia? I'm like, East Coast. No, there's no
Yeah. First of all, I don't
one.
think that people realize how big Australia is. Like, Australia is pretty massive. It's not like you could just
It is.
go from one coast to the other coast, make it a day trip and party. Like, that's not happening.
I mean, it's like driving across. Well, no, driving across the states. That was long.
Did you
I
do
would
that?
more recommend. Yeah, I've done that. I've done
Sick,
that. You didn't
sick,
find these
sick.
photos. Oh my god. Yes, I've done that, but that was, like, split up over, like, a period, but I would rather do that than drive across, like, Australia because there's massive parts right in the center where they have signs being, "This is the last petrol state the gas station.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
This is the last gas
I know some of
station.
these words.
This is the last gas station in a ridiculous time." Like, make sure you full? Don't try to don't try to mess around with me. That is, like, a great place to go and, like, die because the
Yeah.
only things that go through are the big road trains. Do you guys have those?
Uh,
Where it's like
I mean, not to the same extent that like Europe would or that Australia would, but we got some more like city limit trains, or there's a couple like bi state bullets, you
but they're
know,
not trains. They're like trucks, but with, like, so many
like
carriages.
containers.
Yeah, like, the trailers, like,
The big, right?
but they have multiple of them, like 20 plus that they go straight through the center. So imagine trying to
Okay.
overtake one of those and there's another one coming on the same road.
Not
Just
good.
in case.
Probably not
Yeah.
good.
No.
So when did you get out of Australia? How old were you then?
I think I was around 20.
Okay.
Around 20.
And did you go straight to the States, or I saw that you spent some time in where Myanmar, is that how you Myanmar?
Myanmar, yeah, or Burma, depends on who you're speaking to. So I moved from Australia to Myanmar, lived there for 10 years.
Mm,
And like to me, that was more home than Australia ever was. I loved it so much. And I mean, I only left because military coup, my dad
yeah.
passing away.
Okay.
And it's like Thailand for 2 years. And then I came over and did 19 states in one trip.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I bet, especially like in that area of the world, like Southeast Asia, I guess you would call it. There's a lot of fun, like neighboring countries that you can pop over to. So did you like the Singapores, your Thailands, your did you tackle all those?
Definitely could have done more. Being to Singapore, it's way overrated. I mean, to me, it's
Yeah.
like the Switzerland of Southeast Asia. I'm just like,
Okay.
no. And I'm allowed to
Hashtag
say that.
Switzerland of Southeast Asia.
I'm allowed to say that because I'm half Swiss. So like, I can diss that half of me. It's fine.
Okay. Hey, no, I'm with it. You got the license. We'll still publish that you said that. So,
They can come after me. It's fine. Um, yeah, so I've been to Singapore, Meh, Cambodia, not long before I
mm,
left Southeast Asia. It's very similar to Myanmar, just like on a very, very like I imagine if you live there, everybody would know everyone sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's that kind of small, even though it's like a country, right? And Thailand. Thailand is a good
Thailand has
vibe.
to be sick, dude. Come on. Thailand is dope.
It is, like, it's got a bit of everything. So, the only reason that I would prefer, I guess, between Thailand and Myanmar is because it has been open for so long. So, like, you do
Mm,
have that accessibility to, shopping, different kinds of food, etc. Whereas Myanmar is actually almost better in terms of variety. Like, you have everything in one country. There's like
okay.
the desert, the mountains, the water. Ye-
Wow, the water, exactly. That, whatever that you were just doing, that's wild. Was, US always on the Rolodex or, like, obviously outside of the political landscape? Like, what made you go, "Hey, how about this big North American continent? Let's go and see what's over there." It was
So
a
I
boy. It had to have been a boy or a
yeah,
girl. We're not
you looked at my reaction. You're like, yeah, I know what it is.
dude, 100%. I'll call you out. I didn't find that information online because 'cause you're very elusive, but just in I'm good at reading people. It had to have been a boy or a girl because, look, we're open to all sexual preferences.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was for sure a boy.
It was a boy. Dated him for a while, and then I was just like, "Okay, cool. I mean, let's have a look and see." And, like, when I went there, I also visited him, like, and we drove around some parts as well. So, that was part of it. Um, and I think also growing up in Australia where Australia and the US have, like, very close relations,
Mhm.
I guess because of the history and everything. So, it's always been referred to 'em, so I'm just like, "Okay, well, let's just take this off the
Yeah.
bucket," and
Let's not leave them off the list.
I
That's
know,
nice.
right? And
Do
now
you
I'm so happy that I did because being on LinkedIn, I've just met so many incredible people, I can't even.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Do you so look, the thing about being an American right now is yeah, there's a lot of countries that hate us, and they talk shit about us pretty frequently. I know the countries that do. Is Australia in that group, or they're still like, "Hey, we're the US is okay. We're cool with them."
I wouldn't be able to give that a very accurate answer because I haven't been there in God, it's like well over a decade, maybe almost 2 decades. Like,
Dang.
yeah, I haven't been there in that long, and I don't have any intention to go back, so I also just don't really follow what's
Yeah.
going on over there
No, that
that
makes
much.
sense.
Like, to me, everyone that I'm speaking to, because we're on LinkedIn and I'm just most of the time on LinkedIn, most of the people I'm chatting with, like, is either in the US or the UK.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
living here in Spain, but I speak to less Spanish people than I do everyone
Well, that's
else.
okay. That was gonna be the lead up to I was gonna ask, where the hell are you now? So you're in Spain right now?
Yeah, I'm in
What are you doing?
Valencia, Spain.
What are you doing over there, friend?
Dude, like, life to me?
Was it another
I
boy?
could blame AI
Jesus,
for this.
Beatrice. Get
I
your
could
life together. How'd you end up over there?
So, at a certain point while I was, living in Thailand, it just got to be a bit of a headache to be thinking about, like, the visa getting in and out of
Mm,
the country and, like, the questioning, "Oh, like, with doing business, this is, like, already enough stress as it is, like, for
yeah,
anyone." Right? Like, I don't need the stress of uncertainty to be able to come back into the country where you're living. You know what? Screw this. I'm gonna find somewhere else. Went into like ChatGPT at that time and was like, this is what I want. I have
who
3
will accept
passports.
me?
I have 3 passports, between Australia, the Portuguese passport, and the Swiss passport. Help me out, like, cost of living, climate, also cosmopolitan. Like, I need that city energy that's just
Yeah, yeah.
like, I have the biggest ick. This is so weird, but I have the biggest ick for suburbs and, like,
Mm,
small towns, small cities, like,
okay.
want to run. Like it think of Runaway Bride, but like for a town.
Yeah. No, look, I mean, I guess I kinda have that same ick. Any city that I've either lived in or have been drawn to has been, like, a major city, and, like, I live in suburbs right now outside of Houston that's only, like, 40 minutes away, which is a major city, so, like, quiet, neighborly, where I can raise my kids, but if I need to go and, like, wreak some havoc, it's only a 40-minute drive and we can get it done. So,
Only? That's
yeah.
that's a lot. I don't know.
See,
I'm
man,
weird.
that's a very, like, UK response. 40 minutes is, like, even less than the average commute time for most Americans, bro. We're doing 40 minutes just to get to the grocery store sometimes because I got that special chocolate milk on the shelf. Like, 40 minutes is nothing, B. Come on.
That is it I feel like I'd struggle. I mean, at a certain point, I guess you get used to it, but
Yeah,
that's
all I
rough.
need is, dude, I got like my truck. You put on some sick tunes, roll the windows down and just like, love the road, bro. Come on.
That's your thinking time. That's like
Yeah. No, for sure it
while you're
is.
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so AI ended up being like, "Okay, well, Spain matches your climate." And I was like, "Okay, cool, cool. It needs to be a city." Right? So it's like, "Okay, Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia." And it was like, "Well, the other 2 cost of living is like pretty up there."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Barcelona and Madrid for sure.
it's insane. But now, like, after living here for some time, I'm just like, when you go somewhere and there's just that feeling somewhere inside. It's like, this is calling to me. There's a
Yeah,
moment.
dude. Going back to our chakra and energy talk when we were in the lobby. Like, yes, I do know that calling. You feel it.
So the only other place where like I felt at home was in Myanmar. And like I have no
Mm,
intention like to move backwards. That's not to me, it's like it's always like, hey, let's keep moving forward. You might like fuck things up, but like just let's keep moving forward. So maybe I want like that's a future thing to test out and see. Like it's
okay.
also on one of those lines. Um what is it? Astral cartography? Astro that thing. One of my friends, she like got into that and she's like, what's your date of birth and like your like time and all these
Like your
things.
astronomy stuff, like your like stars and your birth sign and how it makes you a person and stuff.
That thing, yeah, and it's like one of those lines hits on Madrid and I'm like, "Hmm,
Mm.
okay."
Are you a football fan at all? The Not American football, like soccer, real football.
No, I mean, aside from watching to like eye the visuals,
Yeah. Oh,
the
look, soccer, dude, they're fit. We'll just say that. They're for sure
exactly.
fit. But bro,
Like, so
dude,
I'll
if you're
sit
in
there and that's what I'll
Valencia,
watch.
and you got like, bro, some of the strongest rivalries in the Spanish Premier League being Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Valencia. Like, come on, dude, you got Atletico Madrid somewhat. Like, I'm a footy, dude. I am obsessed with it. But bro, I would be doing stadium tours if I was in Spain. Like, that's how your boy would be getting it in for sure, man.
Yeah, I'll just do the wine tours and
There you
that
go. They,
that's
hey, hey, to each their own. I'll
I
take you.
mean,
I'll take a
I
good
feel
wine
like
tour.
being in hospitality kind of just integrates that, like, into your personality. It's like, "Okay, well, I'm interested in all liquors, just not beer.
Just
I'm
not
the
beer.
weirdo,
Oh,
just not
okay.
beer." Except for
Beer is a
Guinness.
very German or American type of, you know what I mean? Come on. I love a good beer. I'll go for a light beer all day.
I mean, it's a social thing. Like, anywhere that you go, "Yeah, let's go for a beer," or like, "Let's go for a beer, let's go for a coffee."
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. It's the same outfit. You were in hospitality when you were in Southeast Asia. Where'd you start off? Is it a Beacon Star Hotel, and then you finished off at Gaw Capital, right?
Yes, in the hotel sphere, the like
Mhm,
Began Star was like the first one. So my main hotel stint was like in Australia. So
mhm.
growing up, like I did my Bachelor of Business in International Hotel Management.
Dang.
So like, you know, it's a funny story. Like when we were like finishing high school and we're like, they're like, oh yeah, you need to pick what you want to be doing for your life. And I was like, shit. So I got this like big book, like it's a thick book, and it's got every single like career at that
Yeah.
time, because now like, there'll be like AI programmer and all that shit,
Yeah,
right?
GTM, what the hell is that? Yeah.
And so I went through it and I was like, nope, 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 nope. I looked at like hotel management. I was like, I get to travel. What if I'm like managing a hotel in like the Swiss Alps or something?
Bro,
Right?
that's the real deal, man. Funny story, I always wanted to work at a hotel. In fact, when I was in the 5th grade, my house burnt down. It's not sad. I'm over it. It's fine. But I lived in a Marriott hotel for a year while they were rebuilding my house. And like it was a full year. So like the bartenders, we had like drinks named after us. Like, dude, just the staff made me feel like $1,000,000. And so ever since then, I've always wanted to work at a hotel and inside a hospitality. So I feel like, dude, I would like to make other people feel that way. That shit was dope when that happened. So very cool.
And
Marriott, if
then
you're listening, I'm still open.
next thing we know, you're getting like a call from Marriott being like, yo, so you remember how you said,
Yeah, right.
would you?
I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you
Would you?
posted for sure.
Like if you get that call, would you do it?
Honestly, right now I wouldn't just because I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm just having so much fun, and it's in a nauseatingly boring industry, like, nobody's sitting in 3rd grade science class going, "You know what? I think I wanna build a debt collection agency." But, though, using the energy and the chakras and the crystals, one way or another, I landed in this industry and just fell in love with it, and so, no, I wouldn't. Sorry, Marriott. You missed your chance. I reached out, Marriott, before I got my knee deep in this industry, and you blew me off. So you missed your chance. Yeah. Come on, dude.
Yes. Like that's how I ended up choosing my career or
Out of a
choosing my
big book.
degree, right? Where it's
Closing
like,
your
hey,
eyes and going, this one.
that's one way to choose it, right? Because I mean, out of all the people that we know, right, how many people have actually ended up doing what they
What
studied?
they said that they, yeah. Yeah. No,
Right.
very
Like,
true. Very true.
so
So,
that's what I talk to a lot of people like, oh, I just want to keep on studying. I want to study some more. And I'm like, but how about just, I don't know, going and trying that in real life and seeing if you actually enjoy that? Because
yeah.
for me, I would rather hire someone with like the actual experience than like, oh, I just came in and I got this degree. I'm like, nah, nah, I'm good,
Yeah.
man.
No,
So
I mean, dude, I'm sure you and I both see that in our day-to-day lives as well. Is that experience, that exposure is king, dude. In fact, I'm seeing more qualified candidates without any like collegiate degree or anything that have the experience and they're murderers than those that actually do. So it's crazy, man. It's a new age everywhere with respect to academics and the potential for possibilities. So it's very dope.
yeah, so I'm curious to see how that evolves, but because I ended up doing that degree and it's like half the degree you're actually in a hotel, like you're
Yeah,
running
yeah.
that hotel. So they've got like classes of whiskey and chocolates, like tasting and matching and like cheese and wine, and like you're in the kitchen.
That sounds
They give you
great.
like this giant freaking pumpkin and I'm like, I can't just like pass it down the line. Can you just cut through this damn thing?
Dude, that's hilarious. That sounds great, man. Like I said, hospitality, bro. I've always wanted to be in the hospitality world.
Oh, man. So I've
What
done
made
everything.
what made you pivot into like the marketing, personal branding side?
Don't do personal branding. It's more on the business side, but
Okay.
It's always just, like, snuck in there. It's like whatever role that I was, be it, like, managing a hotel, be it real estate, be it e-commerce, etcetera. There was always, like, an element like marketing, be it the strategic side being like, "Okay, how are we being perceived in the market? How are we being remembered?" And looking at it even in, like, this past year, it's like, to me, the advantage actually was in all of this practical groundwork side. So I'm
Mhm.
just coming in being like, "Hey, how do we make sure that this is actually implemented in your business?" So from your customer service to even your hiring, it's like consistent, the same theme, the same little niggly thing that happens in our minds. It's like, "Oh, you know,
No, that makes
I
sense.
remember them." So it's always just it's poked at me, and I think certain things just needed to happen, be it like from the military coup to even like job hunting for a year. And just that was like rock bottom for me, like mentally and everything. I think all of that needed to happen for me to actually start Badassery by B, to be in that right mindset and to be like, you know what, screw this, screw these shoulds, screw like people being like, oh, hey, if you get a secure job, then you can do whatever you want on the side. It's fine. Is it though? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do something, you're going to do it well, right? You're going to put your 100% in. When are you going to find the time to do the second thing well, as in like to get it rolling how you'd like it to get it roll?
No, for sure. No, and like, look, I think that that makes a lot of sense, and probably why I was kind of drawn to what you're doing at it's Badassery by B. I'll just refer to it as Badassery because a lot of these marketing yahoos in today's world, they come from a really like stringent marketing background, which I feel like is so overrun and mundane, and everybody's playing the same song. And like whether it's traveling the world and your exposure to different cultures and diversities, whether it's your experience in the hospitality world and being more like customer journey centric versus like, oh, hey, this font, that, be careful about saying this. I think that you bring a really unique lens to the marketing world today, which to be fair is like taking off. Like I saw a quip that you had made on that canned water company, Liquid Death. And they're like one of my favorite from a marketing aspect because
Right.
you're taking this long term, long form traditional beverage industry and just completely breaking all of the rules. Like Red Bull did it with the energy drinks. Like you don't even think of Red Bull as an energy drink now. You think of like extreme sports and action athletes. And so I think that that's some of the cool shit that you're doing over at Badassery is kind of creating a different untraditional lens to whatever that subject matter topic is.
And it's not even about creating something brand new. Because I mean, if you go and create something brand new, you're gonna have that friction of people like, what do you do again? Like what is this? Like
Yeah.
you don't want that. Like it needs to be in the known. So instead of following that, like, okay, the reason why most businesses don't stand out is because marketing are just like, okay, what is everybody else in the industry doing? Or what are the trends? So it adds into that noise. But if you step it back and you look at another industry, similar as like Red Bull, similar as like you look at another industry, you look at another space, and you take something from there, you combine it, something that you're likely
Yeah.
already doing.
No, I
You're
love
still in the
that, man.
known. Yeah.
That's your no, dude, that is honestly like your exposure to different cultures, like living through you as you make business decisions, is being able to take a dope concept from over here, which might be completely unrelated or not relative to what's over here, and going, I bet there's a bridge. I bet we can make a bridge, and I think that it's gonna click when we do that, and so I think that's sick, dude. It really is.
It's crazy, and it's insane that I remember as a kid, it was almost not preemptive, I don't think that's the right word for it, but I remember as a kid, like, I was watching TV and the ads came on, and I was like, "You know what? That'll be so fun. I wanna do that." Like, mixing 2 different ideas, I could come up with as like a kid would, like, I could come up with so many ideas. This is what I wanna do, and I only just remembered that I had, like, that happened as a
No, for
kid.
sure, man. It was in you. It was in you the
It
whole
just
time.
disappeared.
Meanwhile, you're closing your eyes and picking "work at a hotel" out of a big book when you had that living in you, B. You
Yeah.
should have just listened to yourself. What the hell?
I don't know, apparently life needed to life me for
Dude, is this a podcast or is this a therapy session? I feel like we're cutting
ugh.
deep, girl.
Yeah, I know. How much is
Jesus.
it per hour again?
Skeletons in the closet. Yeah, well, I'll send you the bill. Don't trip. I'll
Okay.
send you the no. But no, honestly, I think that that's fun, and I think that, like I was saying earlier, your exposure and your experience in a shit ton of other verticals help build the direction on the marketing side at, hey man, what makes sense and what's going to make people feel and what's that story? And the story doesn't have to be traditional. In fact, it's so boring when it's traditional. So you see, like, one of my favorite companies right now is Parakeet. They're like a sales tech stack. They do stuff with like emails and making sure the messaging is dope. Like they're a dope company. But I learned about them because they sent me coffee and a coffee mug. Like a SaaS tech stack sent me coffee, bro. I legit thought they were a coffee company.
Yeah.
And then it kind of bridged into, oh shit, you guys are helping sales divisions and you're supporting outbound email. That's actually really dope. But also, this dark roast you just sent me is fire. So, like, I love it, dude. Build the
Did you
bridge, B.
end up finding out, like, original coffee
Yeah, that's not,
brand?
they're not a coffee company,
Like
unbeknownst to me.
did they make it specifically to send it, or did they work with, like, a coffee company?
No, I mean, I'm sure they have like a grinded beans like vendor or whatever who they work with. And, and the marketing guy over there, to be fair, this guy, AJ Kish, is just
Yeah.
lights out, dude. He's
Yeah.
brilliant. And I was homies with him and like I honestly didn't even know what company he worked for. But then me and him started like talking shit back and forth. It's like, I'll send you some coffee. And I was like, oh, this guy works for a sick coffee company. And then I looked into the LinkedIn page a little bit more and I'm like, where's the coffee at? What, this isn't even a coffee company. Dude, no joke. I mean, their mug is the one I'm using right now, is the
Yeah.
parakeet mug that he sent me with the coffee. So it's just, dude, untraditional, outside the box. Stop doing what everybody else is doing. And now look, he just got fucking free promotion about me talking to you about Parakeet, this dope email automation sequence, by the way, all because he sent me some fucking coffee, dude. So that's the game.
Just doing what we're not used to. Okay, yes, now it gets a hell of a lot harder when everybody's trying to do what nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do we keep this in known, but
But I feel like that's what you're
step it
doing,
back?
B, with your marketing. You're doing the exact same thing as you're taking untraditional, you're taking out of the box, out of the blue, and you're making it make sense and you're making the demographic feel something, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, whether it's weird. Doesn't matter, dude. You're eliciting that feeling, which is ultimately always going to be a benefit for any company that you're working with. So I dig it. I dig it, dude.
Do it, just do things weird or badass. Like get a baseball bat, or maybe don't get a baseball bat.
You could. Get a baseball bat. There's no rules.
Baseball, I don't play.
That's so funny.
It's just purely like, okay, I have a cool metal baseball bat. Just
just to cart around, bro. I just keep it in my car or keep it in my pocket at all times, just in case.
I took it out for I have these photos that I did, like, recently with, like, the red dress and that baseball bat, and I'm walking
Mm,
around the city, and I'm just getting, like, all these people going, "What?"
that's marketing. That's what I'm
This
talking about.
lady started talking to me, like, I feel like okay, my Spanish isn't that, like, good, but people, they start speaking, like, super quick here.
Dang.
So unless you're like, hang on, can you just say that slowly?" You've just lost it. So, like, I don't know what she was saying, but I feel like she was, like, grandma-ing me because she was, like, a grandma age, and she's like I'm like, "Oh, okay. I don't know what
That's
you're saying, but okay."
hilarious. That is hilarious. Dude, let me ask you, because now that I've learned, so you didn't even really start like the pursuit of marketing until you were out of Australia.
Huh.
And so, how the hell did you find yourself on a list of one of the top 20 branding experts in Australia? Are they just like leveraging the fact that you're an Australia native and go, just put her on the list? It doesn't, she's in Spain, doesn't matter. She's a top Australian, top
Dude,
Aussie.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was the kangaroo. They saw the kangaroo and they were like, "She's ours.
Yeah.
Ours."
Bro, you do post a lot of kangaroos. I'm gonna lie. I did see that. You do post a lot of kangaroos.
Mean, there's like an affinity to kangaroos, even though people don't understand usually how deadly the bigger ones can be.
Yeah. I've seen some YouTube videos, bro. I'm staying away from kangas all day. Come
Like
on.
the big red kangaroos, they're as tall as like an adult guy. They will
That's wild.
take
And they
down
will
your
rip
car.
you in half, dude.
They'll
They
kick
will.
you. They'll kick you
Yeah.
in half.
That's what it is. Yeah, they're professional kickboxers, if I recall the YouTube videos correctly. I'm not about any of that noise, but they're cool. Cool animals.
Exactly. And there's so many logos, even like outside of Australia, with kangaroos. I was like, okay, how do we do this? So Badassery by B came before the logo. Like the name was first.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, let's give it a baseball bat and let's give it shades.
Bro, you just segued me so good. Is one thing that I did notice from stalking your public availability online is, um, 90% of the selfies that you take, you're wearing sunglasses indoors. And so, is that on brand for you, or are you just like a stunna shade type of gal? Like, does it give a layer of protection? I mean, so one of the shades is dope. They got like the sharp edges on the side, like you really get it in. Is that just always been you? Are you Sunny's girl?
Maybe it just depends on how many tequilas they were the day before. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Okay. So
kidding.
you're hammered in about 90% of the selfies that I find. So subsequently, you're like, "Bro, pop on these shades. I'm clocking you, B. I'm clocking you."
But actually, that started, God, it started along with like the bat videos, and people were just like, "Oh my god, I love those like sunglasses." So I started wearing them, and then people just started. It's the same thing. Like if you're not gonna do your own what you do well yourself, what's the point,
Yeah.
right?
What's the
So like I
point?
was like, "Hey, so baseball bat, one thing, kangaroo, two things, the sunglasses, that's another thing." So like adding it in together, the things which will be sticky in minds, even like
Yeah.
badass. I've had people send me random videos, random articles, things with like, "This reminded me of you," and I'll press play, and it's like somebody mentioning the word badass, and I'm like, "Okay, that
That's hey,
works."
girl, that's the coin right there. Are you kidding? I would lean into that all day.
Yeah. So that's what ended up happening with the sunglasses. So even indoors, though I need to work out this whole like lighting situation and it reflecting on the
Yeah.
glasses, which is just
No,
like,
you
no,
true.
it's ruining it.
No. I
So
won't lie. So I run the Dad Good community podcast. We film every Tuesday night at 9 PM. And my shtick is I'm always wearing glasses. It's straight nighttime. My lights are off. I wear the glasses. I'm part of that. I'm part of that gang, homie.
Yo, and those would be very reflective, like
Well, they're
if you
very
have
well, dude,
lights.
the front side, you could literally, if you zoomed in, you could see yourself in my glass. They're mirror reflection glasses. Not good for film, but don't care. Didn't realize I'm stuck to it. So
Yeah,
that's my thing.
that's it. After a certain point, if people start remembering you for that thing, you're like, oh man, like I
Yeah.
can't change it now.
No, for sure. Well, sometimes the other guys, they'll pop on the podcast and they're all wearing a hat and sunglasses. I'm like, hey, bro, we're getting it in tonight, dude. We're about to party. So, dude, that's funny. What's another thing I wanted to pepper you about? I realized, I know what it is. So you have the word badass, you've got baseball bat, you've got kangaroo, you've got sunglasses. You know what you also have, and I don't know if you realize this, I bet you do, but you've got an affliction in comic book characters. Tell me I'm wrong. In my stalking research, I've been able to note context about Harley Quinn. You're referencing Deadpool. At some point in a dual post, you brought up Thor's hammer and Spider Man spandex. I've seen a whole host of different Batman and Robin, like comic book, old school type of posts. Are you a comics girl? Is that intentional, or where the hell did that stem from?
It's definitely intentional. And like
Dude, okay,
also it's also
let's go.
something that just it brings me great joy because it reminds me of childhood. So I imagine like anyone else who had similar kind of childhood where before all these like I don't know, cartoons got really weird like
Yeah,
these days. I saw like somebody watching cartoons. I was like, what is that? That's not even like an like looks like a clear figure. Like for me, it was Bugs Bunny, it was Scooby Doo, it was
OGs, bro, the
that
OGs.
that was my thing. And like growing up, then it transformed into like, hey, Harley Quinn, Thor. I mean, Chris Hemsworth does make Thor very like
He does
memorable,
pretty good. Hey, he's not too bad on the eyes either. Not for nothing. Yeah.
balanced, right? And
Yeah.
then what's the guy that dances with the raccoon and he's got
Dude, Chris Pratt, is that Star-Lord? Guardians, bro. Guardians of the Galaxy. That movie is sick, dude.
the series. The series is awesome. I haven't watched it in forever. I wonder if there's like a new one now. But yeah, so like I just grew up on all these things and I'm just like, please let us just have fun with this. All of these concepts that we're trying to talk about, they all have relevancy. They all have, connection to cartoons, to fairy tales. Like I was talking about how Cinderella had a brand strategy one time. Yeah. Her like and then another one was this was when it like in my unhinged era, which I'm trying to get back into. If Rapunzel was a guy and he was a consultant. So like instead of the long hair, he'd have like a really long beard. And like I
That
got into
is
it.
certainly some left field. I mean, that's it very on brand for Badassery by B. I could tell you that.
And it's fun. Like why have we lost so much fun in trying to, I don't know, get ahead?
No, to make people
Trying
feel.
to
But
like
also in like a business strategy concept, and you've made comments about this, like you very much worked in the complex of the anti-hero into your branding strategy, like even the way that you show up, kind of like relentless, take it for as it is, I'm not going to shield my words. And that positioning, especially across the nature of most of those comic books that we were talking about, is rooted in some semblance of the anti-hero, winning or becoming the hero because they're not following the norm or taking on that traditional landscape. And so really harnessing and leveraging, bro, I'm going to be disgustingly me is going to be untraditional and I'm still going to rise to the top. So I think that's kind of what makes, even though it's silly and I'm into comic books, obviously you are, but you really do make that content come full circle when you look at it from the lens of what that actual impact is. So I think that's pretty cool.
Damn, you went deep because this stuff was a little while back.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, respect that.
That's
um,
why we do it, man.
I love that. Like, yes, I think heroes are easily forgotten. Heroes are easily forgotten. It's like the anti-heroes that we can relate to because we all have struggles. We all have stories. And as much as, there's podcasts about like people's stories, it would have to be every single human on earth because everybody has a story. Everyone has something that they've truly struggled with and that's affected their lives and that like they've had to overcome. And what better way to represent that than an anti-hero? Because heroes, they're still good. There's like that black and white.
Yeah, yeah.
Where at our very nature as humans, there is no black and white. We're all
No, for sure.
gray. There's some things where we're just like, well, our values go in this direction, our values go in that direction. And to other people, they might question that. They might like, right, like this is the same reason why we talk about like shadow work and that sort of things. We have that duality, and it's not about repressing one side or the other. It's about, okay, how do we balance both? And how
No,
can we
for sure.
leverage that dark side?
Yeah.
The differentiation.
No, and I think another interesting thing about the antihero, and we kind of mentioned it even with Harley Quinn and Deadpool, is very relatable. Like nobody is Clark Kent, where you're perfect in the office, you're Superman, you're the perfect figure, you could do no wrong type of thing. But then you bring up a figure like Deadpool, for instance, and that dude is out of his mind and he encompasses this anti-hero. He even talks shit about the hero aspect of him doing the life-saving work because he's so disgustingly authentic and, to who himself is. And so I think that's a beautiful thing that you noted, even outside of like the nostalgia part is cool. You pay reference to and you're like, ah, dude, that's cool. But that deeper seated meaning inside of anti-hero and kind of leaning into that. It's just such a cool perspective and again, bridges back to the untraditional approach that you bring to Badassery by B, which I think is very cool.
I think that in itself, truth be speaking, it's one of the hardest part even like of maintaining the Badassery brand because it's so easy to get off track from that, to get
Mhm.
lost from like pushing against the norms
Yeah,
because
you
the
can't
norm
fake it
like
with a feel good story type of thing. It's got to be real. And there's some parts that are going to be ugly and there's going to be gross, but they're all elements to the story, to the vision.
I would even say beyond that because when we're putting out content, there's that certain like, okay, we're doing things like because we need to be like informative. We need to like have that educational sense. So you get lost in that this is what we're like putting out information, putting out like a certain sense that you just need to remember to push back. That part I think is
Yeah.
hard to consistently do. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to remind yourself, shit, like, I need to be not just agreeing. Or maybe that's just in the way that I grew up and it's something that I'm trying still every day trying to unlearn to try to push back, be like, what am I going to push back against today? What like
Yeah.
how am I going to get out of that comfort zone? Because it's something that we get into so easily because you look across LinkedIn, you look across any social media, and it's the posts are very much like 80, 90% it's the same sort of thing. So
Mhm.
it's so easy to get into that. You're like, oh, I need to get it out there and put out the message. How are
How
you
do
gonna
I keep
poke?
my angle, my flair, my differentiator that got me here
Yes.
in the first place? Yeah.
How am I gonna push back? How is that anti going to stay in there? How do I avoid slipping back in? And I think that is the hardest thing just for me.
No, for sure, dude. It's super. One. I mean, look, that's how I know that you're doing everything the right way is because everybody's got their theme of how do I encompass the anti or how do I encompass the untraditional. And that's really the exercise of creativity. And like, even to your point of if you scroll on TikTok, maybe everybody's saying something different, but you could scroll through 500 videos and it's all the exact same thing whether somebody's talking about sports, someone's talking about makeup, someone's a day in the life, it is all the exact same thing. And it's so easy to fall into that because obviously there's a component of the exact same thing that still works, but how are you going to stand out, bro? And so that's really that muscle that you exercise consistently and being able to create the content and that anti hero, that untraditional approach that you're able to bring to the platform and to Badassery by B, which I think is dope.
And I think it's also how much we consume. I think
Yeah.
the more we consume, the more we use AI, all of these things are detractors
Hmm.
to standing out.
No, for sure. Well, and like, dude, comparison is the thief of joy. And the more that you're consuming, you're seeing somebody else kick ass in a vertical. And a lot of people's first inclination is to go, ooh, how do I do that just like that? Like, well, then you're already starting off on the wrong foot. You're already wrong because you're just joining this crowd where do you think that guy is dope? 5,000 other people that are doing the exact same thing, bro.
And
So,
even if, say, for example, if they're doing well, like, oh, I want to be the next Gary Vee or I want to be the next Hermosi or whatever it is, right?
yeah,
They've already succeeded. There's no, you want to be remembered as like, oh, he's like Gary Vee. You're basically giving additional marketing to this
you're
guy.
driving traffic towards him because your shit is dope, but then they're like, "Yo, but did you see what Gary's doing?" You
Like,
know?
oh, he's like Gary. Let's go watch Gary.
Yeah. No, you're spot on, man. I love it, dude.
So
Well,
just
check it
lean
out.
into that child version. I think that's
No,
it.
for sure, bro. Gotta keep it alive. That nostalgia is a hitter. So we've covered badassery by B to the extent of badass. We've got kangaroos, we got baseball bats, we got sunglasses, we got the anti-hero approach. Beatrice Gutknecht, dude. First of all, hell of a last name perfect for hashtag mutual connections. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit, dude. We've obviously been chatting in the DMs. I got exposure to what I was able to find, at least on your socials. And no, bro, I'm so excited to continue following your journey. I think that you're kicking ass. And I just appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for a little bit.
Dude, thank you so much for having me on, Chris. Like, this has been awesome. There should be more conversations and more people doing that level of stalking. Even before, like, if you're doing networking, go and stalk that person. Like, save some time in that conversation. Be like, oh, I saw you did this. Tell me about
Yeah,
this. And you're like,
man.
whoa, you're not having, oh, tell me about yourself. Is like the first thing you get into a call. First thing is you get into like a podcast. It's
How
overdone.
boring.
Come
How
on.
and dude, I've seen you done so many other podcasts where they're like, "Hey, tell me about the 3 pillars of badassery." Like, nobody nobody cares, dude. I wanna know about the person, bro. That's why our tagline is connecting beyond the post. We saw the post. Like, we get the business side. I wanna know the human side, dude. I wanna know, you know, like, where's the engine behind the company? And so, that's why I love doing this shit, dude. I will never stop doing this
Dude, you're
because it's
awesome.
so fun to meet people like you and stalk on the internet and find these little nuggets. So, thanks for hanging out, dude.
Thank you again.
For everybody tuning in, again, this is Mutual Connections. We try, at least, to launch new episodes every single Wednesday. It is on your LinkedIn timeline at the Mutual Connections podcast page. We are on YouTube, Apple Pods, Spotify, Podbean, whatever, dude. We're like, we get it out there. You can go and check out your girl, Beatrice Gutknecht, on the timeline. I'll make sure that I tag her when we launch the videos, the teasers. If you haven't already, head over to her page, go and check out Badassery by B. It will certainly support the majority of the discussion here. She's doing something different. She's doing something out of the box, out of the blue, and it really is dope, dude. So go and check her out, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.